Welcome back to Ghost Pirate Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today I give you another 10 recommendations on Hulu. And let's get to the list.
Don't you ever feel like you're seeing something that you're not supposed to? Wake up.
Come True is a 2020 Canadian sci-fi horror movie. Written and directed by Anthony Scott Burns, it stars Julia Sarah Stone and Landon Liberon. The film follows a teenage runaway who takes part in a sleep study that becomes a nightmarish descent into the depths of her mind and a frightening examination into the power of dreams.
We'll either be hailed or crucified based on our treatment of this breakthrough.
What's happening?
This is a mind-bending treat. It's well acted and wonderfully directed, and I really enjoyed the pacing of it. It never felt rushed, but at the same time it never dragged either. It's full of twists and surprises, and it's so layered that the longer I thought about it, the more I discovered. And the lighting and color grade are masterfully used to control the mood as well as to give you clues to the overall story. I was just so surprised how much I enjoyed this thought-provoking little gem, so I highly recommend it.
Is your God.
She was here long before the apes started dreaming of gods.
Gaia is a 2021 South African ecological horror thriller. Directed by Jocko Bauer with a screenplay by Tertis Kapp. It stars Monique Rockman, Carol Nell, and Alex Van Dyke. The story follows a park ranger who takes shelter with two survivalists after an attack by a mysterious creature in a primordial forest.
She lives in the forest.
Who?
God.
This is an artistic, slow burn type of movie, but it doesn't feel simple at all. It feels full and overwhelming, and it's beautifully done using dread to build the uneasiness and tension throughout, with these cutaway shots to this vast jungle. It does move slow as it unfolds, but it never felt boring, and it's gorgeously shot and edited with some stunning practical effects. This isn't going to be for everyone, but if you enjoy indie horror and can be patient, this is well worth your time.
Whatever did this, I can kill it.
Prey is a 2022 sci-fi horror movie. Directed by Dan Trachtenberg and written by Patrick Azen, it stars Amber Midthunder and Dakota Beavers. This is the fifth installment in the Predator franchise, and a prequel to the first four films. It's set in the northern Great Plains in North America in 1719. The story revolves around Naru, a skilled Comanche warrior, who must survive against the Predator on its first hunt on Earth.
I saw a sign in the sky. I'm ready.
Maui, Nita.
This movie absolutely blew me away. It took this action sci-fi horror premise of the Predator franchise and added emotion, heart, and real character development to it. I know this is not a popular opinion, and it's one that most of you probably won't agree with, but I actually think this is the best Predator movie. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is my favorite Predator movie, that still probably goes to the original. But as far as which is the better made movie, more well-rounded, better character development, better acting, looks better, all of those kind of things, I think Prey is a better film. No matter what, if you have yet to check this out, I think it is an absolute must-see.
They made me do it.
Wounds is a 2019 psychological horror movie, written and directed by Babak Avari and starring Armie Hammer, Dakota Johnson, and Zazie Beetz. When a bartender in New Orleans picks up a phone that was left behind at the bar, he begins to receive disturbing messages and finds that his sanity is slowly unraveling.
There was these college kids. They left a cell phone there. And I went through it to see whose it was. You don't want to see it? want to see it. It's awful.
So I had never heard of this movie before and went in completely blind. And I was really surprised how entertaining it was. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't an all-time game changer or anything. But for a little unknown movie, it was a lot of fun. It has creepy supernatural themes that are actually really well done, with a haunting New Orleans creepy vibe. It has a solid cast who all feel natural and authentic, like real people. This just has a lot of bizarre moments and strange twists to it that leave you guessing, never knowing what direction it's gonna take. This is a well done, entertaining little gem that I think you definitely should add to your list. Hatching is a 2022 Finnish body horror movie, directed by Hanna Bergholm and starring Siri Sillarina and Sofia Hinkila. The film focuses on Tenja, a young gymnast desperate to please her mother. When Tenja finds an abandoned egg, what hatches is not what she expected. This movie is so bizarre, and it goes some very strange directions. But mostly it just has a very strange overall vibe. Just a real uniqueness to it. But I really enjoyed the practical effects in this movie. They're outstanding. They just really reminded me of creature effects from the 80s and 90s. But I was really caught off guard by this movie numerous times. It gets pretty shocking, to be honest. It really goes for it, not holding back at all. But this isn't the kind of movie for beginner horror fans, because it's just so odd and uncomfortable. I could definitely see it losing some people. But if you're into indie foreign horror and body horror special effects, this is one you cannot miss.
The magic will find another broken person. It will never behind you.
The Vigil is a 2019 supernatural horror movie. Written and directed by Keith Thomas in his directorial debut, it stars Dave Davis, Minish Lustig, and Malky Goldman. The story follows a young man who's tasked with watching Vigil over a deceased member of his former Orthodox Jewish community, only to be targeted by a malevolent spirit known as a Mazik.
There is something very, very wrong here.
We have to go now.
So I've mentioned this on a few different lists in the past, but I'm still so disappointed how few people have actually seen this. I just never hear anyone talking about it, and it's so well done. It was one of the very best movies released last year. It has outstanding mood. Both the lighting and pacing were masterful at building dread and fear. And it's such a simple premise, just one guy in a house for the night. Yet it never feels slow or boring. It feels unique and just full of mystery, leaning heavily into Jewish folklore, a subject you just rarely see in horror. For fans of dark, moody, creepy supernatural movies, this is a great pick. The Wretched is a 2019 supernatural horror movie. Written and directed by the Pierce brothers, it stars John Paul Howard, Piper Curda, and Zara Muller. The story follows a defiant teen boy who faces off against an evil witch who poses as his next door neighbor.
What are you doing up here?
Don't let her in.
My son likes to play hide and seek. Can you bring him down?
This is a spooky, witchy little horror movie. It's another one that really surprised me. It's nothing crazy, but it is quite entertaining, with some unique twist on folk witch horror, using gross special effects in some great ways. And the cast do a great job, especially for mostly teens. But what really makes this movie worth seeing is the creepy evil witch. She definitely got me a few times. So for a small horror movie, it really goes for it, and it's one I think you could definitely have a good time with.
We did something bad.
We Need to Do Something is a 2021 psychological horror movie, directed by Sean King O'Grady and stars Sarah McCormick, Vanessa Shaw, and Pat Healy. The plot centers on a family trapped in their bathroom during a tornado, but as time passes, things take a bizarre turn.
I think something might be wrong.
Won't open. A tree is blocking the door.
What a captivating, fun movie this is. It's strange because the whole movie takes place inside of a bathroom, and yet it never feels slow and never once did it lose my interest. And what seems like a simple concept slowly turns into much more as the movie unpacks. And in the final act, it completely goes off the deep end. In general, this is a very fun indie movie with outstanding performances, especially by Pat Healy as the father, who completely loses his fucking mind in this movie. Also, Sarah McCormick, who plays the daughter, gives an emotional, powerful performance as well. And it is a slow burn, so it won't be for everyone, because not a lot happens. It's more about the ideas of things that you don't exactly see that give it its effect. But I think it's one of those movies that if you go in with the right expectations, you could really have a good time with it. Spring is a 2014 romantic body horror movie. Written and directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, it stars Lou Taylor Pucci and Nadia Hilker. The film follows a young man who travels to Italy and pursues a young woman who, unbeknownst to him, harbors a dangerous secret. This is a beautiful love story, and I know that is not very horror. But to be honest, this movie really got to me and has stuck with me. But it's also more than a love story. It has some really great Lovecraftian elements to it, and entertaining body horror with lots of mystery. It's beautifully shot at a stunning location, so the whole movie is just picturesque. So this won't be for everyone, but if you go in with an open mind, you might be surprised. So definitely check it out. Hobo with a Shotgun is a 2011 gory action exploitation thriller, directed by Jason Eisner and written by John Davis. It stars Rutger Hauer. It's based on a faux trailer of the same name featured in the Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez film Grindhouse, where a homeless vigilante blows away crooked cops, pedophile Santas, and other scumbags with his trusty pump-action shotgun.
Maybe you'll end up like me. Hobo with a shotgun.
This movie is so wild. It is absolutely over-the-top fun. And it's super gory in a Grindhouse type of way. It's campy and silly, but not in an annoying way. In a creative, colorful, artistic way. But sadly, it was the final performance of Rutger Hauer, as he died in 2019. But he was absolutely brilliant in this. This is a micro-budget kind of movie, but everyone involved really gave it their all. You could just tell that they had their heart and soul in this. I love this movie so much, and I highly recommend you grab some popcorn and enjoy. Real quick, leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's any other movies on Hulu that you recommend, because your recommendations help me out so much. I also want to give a huge, massive, enormous thank you to my patrons, because you guys, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron and helping to support this channel, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember, guys, horror can be fun. If you enjoyed this video, click right here for 10 more recommendations.